Hey, Shalom Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakathum to the brothers. Yahweh Shema Alathun by Shem Yahshua to the sisters. Where the ISUPK started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And since 1969, we've been teaching the truth according to the Bible. And the truth is, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans make up the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel, which makes you the greatest people walking the face of the earth.
Right.
And I know in these times, it doesn't seem like it, with all the death and destruction that plagues our people, the drug addiction, the alcoholism, and all these things that are plaguing our people. I know it's hard to see that, you know what I mean? And the reason why these things are in front of us, the reason why these things are happening is because we have an enemy that's right in front of us, and with that, and that same enemy that's in front of us uses crafty counsel to make us turn on ourselves and destroy ourselves with those very vices. Again, whether it's alcoholism, drug abuse, being a homosexual, you know what I mean, being a whore, drug dealer, all these different things. You understand? But according to the Bible, we are 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. You know what I mean? Preaching Officer Shabal coming to you live from Las Vegas. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have class in the Las Vegas area. If there any brothers and sisters in the Las Vegas area looking for the class, you can find us on Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas. You can find us on YouTube, ISUPK Nevada. Tonight, we're doing a multi-stream with our brothers out there in Arizona. You know what I'm saying? Like and subscribe to their channel on YouTube as well, ISUPK Arizona. All right. And with these classes, man, Tuesday's the brotherhood class, you know what I'm saying, where we go into the Bible and break down, you know what I'm saying, the true meaning of brotherhood and sisterhood. Wednesday is the biblical law class, and Thursday the scripture breakdown class. All right. And we teach these classes every week from 7 to 9 p.m. You know what I mean? So if you're in the Las Vegas area, you know what I'm saying, feel free to hit us up. You know what I'm saying, we'll get, you know what I'm saying, you bring your questions, you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, we'll rock it out like that. All right. So if y'all could like and share the class, let everybody know that we live. That's what I got going on right now. So the delay is for, right? If you look at the title for tonight's class, the title for tonight's class is "You Cannot Be Double-Minded and Serve the Most High," right? And that was a topic that we were supposed to go into last week. But again, this is a scripture breakdown class. And so because it's a scripture breakdown class, you know what I'm saying, we welcome all questions. All right. If I can answer your question tonight, I will answer your question biblically. All right. And if I'm not able to answer your question, I will write it down, and Lord allow, I'll have it for you by next week's class. All right. So if y'all bear with me real quick, as I like and share the class as well. Right. We ask y'all to like and share these classes because, you know what I'm saying, we want to make, you know what I'm saying, we pray to the Lord that he opens up the airwaves, right? And with the airwaves being open, right? This is how we broadcast the truth through the airwaves. You see what I'm saying? And so what Kanye West has done and what Kyrie Irving has done is kick the door open that much more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? By growing a pair and telling the truth. You see what I'm saying? And so they Kyrie being a point guard, you know what I'm saying, he actually gave us an assist. You know what I'm saying? He you know what I'm saying, he threw the ball up in the air, you know what I'm saying? This was us, you know what I'm saying, it's on us, you know what I'm saying, to finish strong at the basket. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what we plan on doing with this truth, because we've been doing it since 1969. You know what I mean? So as much as we appreciate them brothers standing up, because it takes a lot of courage to stand up to the oppressor, right? We've been doing this since 1969. You know what I mean? If them brothers, you know what I'm saying, want to take it a step further and really want to show, you know what I'm saying, that they know the truth according to the Bible, you know what I'm saying, they'll grab a flyer and they'll come to class. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, you know what I'm saying, we'll defend them because nobody else will. You know what I mean? Your so-called leaders, you know what I'm saying, have tucked their tails and ran. You know what I mean? The celebrities that y'all look up to, they've either tucked their tails and ran, or they've let massa know whose side they on. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's your Charles Barkley's or your Shaquille O'Neal's, you know what I mean? We have to stop being cowards and we have to stop letting this money influence us. You see what I'm saying? Even LeBron James. LeBron James is supposed to be the most pro-black athlete on the face of the earth. You know what I mean? But if it comes down to being pro-black, you know what I'm saying, and being pro-money, he's going to take the money every time. You see what I'm saying? This brother right here, everybody want to put this brother on a pedestal for wearing a hoodie when Trayvon Martin was murdered, and all he did was do the popular thing. Why am I saying that what he did was the popular thing? Why is that? Obviously.
Because black people were already doing it.
Boom. He did the popular thing. So he wasn't the only one. It would have been hardcore had he been the only one to do it.
Right.
But all he did was ride the wave.
Oh, right.
You see what I'm saying? So I can't really say it was courageous of him because he wasn't in the minority.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? What Kanye did and what Kyrie did, you know what I'm saying? That right there is in the minority. So you give them credit for that. You know what I'm saying? You can give them credit because they're in the minority. Right. They ain't riding no wave. You know what I mean? And when I say they're not riding the wave, I mean as far as according to the world. Because the ISUPK been pushing this wave again since 1969. You get what I'm saying? You had your hand up?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. So, like the whole thing with Colin Kaepernick when he did that whole kneeling, was he like one of the first ones doing that during that time, or would that be considered like something? Let's say like the popular thing?
No, actually, what he did, he made it even more popular because Marshawn Lynch was doing it before him, but Marshawn Lynch wasn't kneeling; he was actually sitting on the bench.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? But Colin Kaepernick being a quarterback. You know what I mean? And wearing his hair the way he did, or the way he does, because to my knowledge, he still hasn't cut his hair.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you're a quarterback, right, you're the face of the franchise. So you're gonna get all the attention, whether you're really good or really bad, you're gonna get all the attention. And the fact that team was as successful as it was at the time, and up until he decided to take a knee, he was America's darling. Because he ran all over the Green Bay Packers. So everybody was in love with this dude. He was doing Nike commercials. He was doing his thing. You know what I mean? They was calling him Michael Vick 2.0 and all kind of other stuff. You know what I mean? And so he took a knee and he even explained his stance on why he was taking a knee. Even went so far as to talk to a former, he might have been a current vet. Either way, he had a conversation with a vet. Let that man know where he was coming from, and he got the support from that vet. Not that he needed it, but that vet understood where he was coming from and respected where he was coming from. Our own people turned on that brother. You see what I'm saying? And not only did they turn on him, but they turned on Eric Reid as well. Everybody talks about Colin Kaepernick, and rightfully so, but Eric Reid was right there with him. You know what I mean? And Brandon Marshall with the Broncos, he you know what I'm saying? He stood his ground for a little bit. You know what I mean? But to answer your question, what Colin Kaepernick did was in a minority because even though Marshawn Lynch was doing it first, it didn't get the same attention, you know what I'm saying, that Colin Kaepernick doing it did. You see what I'm saying? You want to add something to that?
No, I was just going to add on to what you was saying about with, like LeBron and the Kyrie situation. LeBron wearing the Trayvon Martin hoodies and stuff like that. What Kyrie actually did, there wasn't, aside from the ISUPK, nobody was already, speaking about, Black excellence and, you fight this, pushing for us to discover who we actually are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, in the midst of that, that's given us, free publicity.
Right.
The downside to that is so are these fake, as well for the fake Israelite camps as well. But in the midst of all that, LeBron is on, we'll just say the feminine dressing man club.
Yeah.
He's on their side where they got the audacity to put on a skirt, put on a wig, look like you got, fake breasts.
Yeah.
Act like a woman on camera at that. Like, again, like with Charles Barkley, just to say that you would do anything for a paycheck to your point as well. LeBron just doing anything for that money side, and then talking against his brother, where he actually is onto something. So,
right. Now, and if I could, right, whether it's Colin Kaepernick, whether it's Kanye West, or whether it's Kyrie Irving, right, what we have to understand in what we have to understand with what's going on with these brothers, right? Is this right here is what you would call modern day buck breaking, right?
Yeah,
it's called modern day, and the reason why I'm saying this, right? I'm calling it modern day buck breaking because when I see what's happening to these brothers, this is what it reminds me of, right? The difference is, right, and for those that don't know, and it's hard for me to talk about it just because of how mad it makes me. The scripture says, surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, right? But in that same scripture, a gift destroyeth the heart. So your Shaquille O'Neal's and your Charles Barkley's and your LeBron Jameses and anyone that has any kind of status, you know what I'm saying, who speaks out against these brothers, they allow that gift, whether it's a record deal or an NBA contract, to destroy their hearts, right? But again, for those that are not familiar with what buck breaking is, you know what I'm saying, back when we was on the plantation, right? If there was a brother, a strong brother, not just in stature, but who was well respected amongst the other brothers and sisters, right? If he, you know what I'm saying, started to rebel or wanted to motivate the other brothers and sisters to stand up and have a backbone, if Massa caught wind of it, what they would do is they would shame him publicly in front of everybody to see, and they would break him down. They would rape him in front of his fellow brothers and sisters, and even worse, in front of his wife and children.
right.
You see what I'm saying? They would literally strip this man down and have their way with this man. You see what I'm saying? Which is just gay on so many levels, right? But they did it to send a message, right? And what it did was say, if we was able to do this to him, what the hell you think we would do to you?
Right.
And so by default, all the brothers who once looked up to this brother no longer look up to this brother because now, man, we thought this nigga was strong, man. We thought this dude was, you know what I'm saying? We thought he was going to be the one to lead us out of this plantation. Oh, he's just another bitch ass nigga. Although that's not the case, but that's what starts to happen. You see what I'm saying? And so what it does is it reminds all the other slaves, hey nigga, don't forget who you are. Nigga, remember your place and stay in your place or else. Right? And so what the NBA is trying to do and what Adidas is trying to do and all these different companies is trying to do is send a message to all the niggas, know your place.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Or this can be you. You know what I mean? The first one that they, you know what I'm saying? Well, a little bit after Colin Kaepernick was Nick Cannon. You see what I'm saying? And it worked for a little bit because you notice he shut the hell up real fast. I mean, he did a complete 180. You see what I'm saying? Like he took off the fake ass Mitri and everything that he was rocking. You get what I'm saying? You want to add something?
Yeah, kind of Salaki. Well, for one, can I add two comments? So for one, you know, to the buck breaking thing, they literally had plantations designed like for that, where the Frenchmen would set up camp, or they would, you know, the slave masters would hire the Frenchmen to come and do that. Like that was basically the French's role, which also makes sense as to why, you know, the so-called Haitians or our Levite brothers hate the French so goddamn much. You know what I'm saying? But secondly, to Nick Cannon, I want to see your reaction to Salakia, sir. But have you seen that he's trying to come back to the Israelite side by backing Kyrie Irving?
No, but I'm not surprised, and here's why. It's starting to become
normalized? I mean, popular?
Yes, but that I was looking for a specific word because we used it earlier. But you're correct though. You remember?
I thought popular was it?
No, the wave.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Now, because it's becoming more of a wave. You see what I'm saying? It's starting to become a thing now because you're starting to hear more and more come out. Might not go as hard as Kanye did, but they're in support of him. You know what I'm saying? Even Teddy Riley of all people messed me up. Teddy Riley, super producer, Teddy Riley. You know what I mean? For those that are not in my age range, Google Teddy Riley. He is that dude. Right?
It's like it's like
all everyone who gave an answer, you guys were correct. It wasn't the answer I was looking for, but all you guys are correct. It is becoming a trend now. It is becoming popular. So everything that y'all said is correct, right? But the thing is, the reason, like, it's starting, like, everybody wants to ride the wave now. You know what I mean? So that's where I was coming from. But so Nick Cannon is trying to ride that wave, and so now, see, it's a little bit more safer now. You see what I'm saying? A little bit more, because why? Because all the slings and arrows. I don't like using that term. Well, because of all the heat that Kanye West is getting and Kyrie Irving is getting. See, they're both bigger than Nick Cannon. So if he come in and say something, he's not gonna catch as much heat as they are. You see what I'm saying? So now it's kind of, we can kind of hide behind him a little bit. You know what I mean? But hey, ain't no thing. If the brother want to come home, so be it.
No, right.
Because that's what we want anyway.
Right.
We want all our brothers and sisters to come home. You know what I mean? The frustrating part about it is we such a respect our person. It's a goddamn shame to take for someone of stature. You see what I'm saying? To say what we've been saying. We go out in them corners, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, whatever, you know what I mean? And we speak the truth. And we don't back down. You know what I mean? We will not allow our gift to destroy our hearts.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, though, going back into the whole bug breaking thing, that's exactly what you see. So anytime they take an athlete and they just, shit on him the way they're shitting on Kyrie, like, you got to think about it. They selling this brother's shoes at Foot Locker for $60 now. I mean, they got a mad sale on everything Kyrie Irving related. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a little bit, don't be surprised, and this ain't no diss, but don't be surprised if you start to see it at goddamn Ross. You see what I'm saying? If Payless is still around, don't be surprised if you start to see Kyrie being sold at Payless or being sold at Walmart next to Shaq's shoes. You get my point? And starts finding them at the bargain bin or something like that. You get my point? That just don't be surprised. And that right there is another way of bug breaking. You get what I'm saying? Because what it'll do to the rest of the slaves say, shit, I got the number one selling shoe. I can't say nothing. You know what I mean? My jersey is the number one selling jersey in America. I'm not saying nothing. Right. You see what I'm saying? So that's their whole point behind this. You had a question? Oh, I was just gonna ask. Normally, are those like over $100 shoes? Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, almost $200. Oh, okay. Yeah. So the fact that they're exactly like you know what I'm saying, because usually if you go to the outlet, of course you'll find shoes on sale, but a player of his stature, you would never find shoes of a player of his stature be that cheap. You know what I mean? Unless it was like some Cyber Monday type shit. You know what I mean? Or something like that. But right now, like all the so-called Christmas sales haven't even started yet, and they ain't already got a jump on his shoes. You get my point? And it's just another way to shit on the brother. That's all. You get my point? But that brother's still standing strong, and he refuses to back down. And what's so frustrating about the whole thing is, in the midst of all this, he still hasn't said anything at all. All he did was post a video. And what we supposed to take away from this, right? Yeah, like the sister say at the 99-cent store, right? And so, I mean, it might happen. You never know. They might disrespect that man so much and start selling that man's shoes. They don't even sell shoes at the 99-cent store, except them little shoes that you wear to the pool. Them chanclas that the grandmas be whooping ass with. They sell those at the 99-cent store, and that's about it. Other than that, you ain't getting no shoe there. But don't be surprised you look up a month from now, you know what I mean, and they're selling his shoes there. You know what I mean? They made like the sister said, they made them affordable now. You know what I mean? And so the thing about it is, what we have to understand is that what's happening with these brothers is more proof of how much they hate us and how much of a difference there is between the so-called white race and the so-called black race. They're showing you exactly what white privilege is. You see what I'm saying? And the proof is has anybody heard anything else about what Brett Favre did? Go ahead.
There is an update on it. Supposedly there's a drug scandal that's being tied to that whole spiel as well. But Nike did pull off of Kyrie, but Nike is still supporting Brett Favre's legacy.
You see what I'm saying? And so now it took, ESPN days before they actually even reported on the whole Brett Favre thing, and they were so crafty with it and they were so nonchalant with it. You know what they did? They put it as a story right before commercial. You know what I mean? So in other words, like, okay, what, 30 seconds to commercial break. Let's go ahead and throw this story out there. You get what I'm saying? But coming up next on SportsCenter, top plays. You see what I'm saying? So just like that, you didn't forgot about what the hell they just said because they spent so little time on it because it wasn't really that big of a deal. They on some, okay, fine, we'll say something about it because we don't want to look like we're being biased. But yet, the Kyrie Irving conversation has been on every ESPN platform across the board. You got ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, ESPN News, ESPN Deportes, okay? All these different ESPNs. And everybody had an opinion on Kyrie Irving. But yet, Brett Favre, who made millions upon millions of dollars while playing in the NFL, we're not even talking about his endorsement money that he's still making. Because to my knowledge, Copperfield ain't cut him off. Or was it Tommy Copper? Whichever commercials he was doing with Jerry Rice. You see what I'm saying? They ain't cut him off. You see what I'm saying? He ain't had to issue no apology or anything.
Levi.
You see what I'm saying? The Wrangler commercials that he was doing.
Yeah.
Right? So now what about that fake Jew Sarah Silverman? What about her? Anybody know about her?
That blackface stuff.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
How much heat did that get?
They all do that though, so I can't.
But that's the point though. Robert Downey did it. And he was applauded for it. You see what I'm saying? So in our ignorance, we laughed. But in reality, what about the one that didn't laugh and didn't think it was funny?
All right.
Do they matter? They don't. Why? Because the one that wasn't laughing was us. You see what I'm saying? And when you look at the difference between, the so-called white race and the so-called black race, if you say anything against the so-called Jew, right, they rain down hell, fire, and brimstone. Meanwhile, pretty much everything that they put on the radio and on TV is anti-black. But where's the apologies? You got niggas running around thinking they need no brown to this day. And New Jack City came out, 30 years ago? Niggas want to be, I forget Tupac's character name in Juice, but everybody want, Bishop. Everybody want to be Bishop from Juice. Or everybody want to be New Jersey Drive. You get what I'm saying? Everybody want to be O-Dog from Menace to Society. You see what I'm saying? Everybody want to be Doughboy, you understand, from goddamn Boys in the Hood. And for the record, all you niggas that thought Ice Cube was Doughboy, his comments when they was tying him in the Kanye West thing should let all y'all niggas know that really thought that nigga was Doughboy. What Ice Cube showed you with them comments is he's not Doughboy. He's Nick Parsons. Who knows who Nick Parsons is?
Just going off of context, because I don't know who he is, but just going off of context, he's probably a sellout. Some sort of a sellout. Or even a snitch.
You can say that. Anybody online, who knows who Nick Parsons is? You gotta watch movies a little bit to know, but you'll understand my point when you figure out who Nick Parsons is.
He a devil?
No, that's what I'm saying. You got to be familiar with movies to understand why I'm calling him Nick Parsons and not calling him Doughboy. And why he's more Nick Parsons than he is Doughboy. When you turn on any Ice Cube record, you would think he was the biggest, baddest, hardest gangster nigga walking the face of the earth. But in reality, he's a coward. He don't got a G-bone in his body. He just know how to look the part. He grew up in the hood, but he wasn't really that nigga.
So
you see what I'm saying?
I always said that about Ice Cube.
And that's the thing. Them LA streets that he talk about, he's telling everybody else's story. You know what I mean? But niggas that really know him, and I'm not even glorifying the gangbanging life. My point is, if you didn't know no better, you would think he was that nigga. You get my point? Yeah, nobody online know who Nick Parsons is, huh?
What movie is it from?
If I say that, I mean shit, that'll give it away.
Yeah, fair. I'm trying to see.
And the crazy thing about it is, a lot of y'all have seen this movie. There was actually a sequel to it. No, man, give y'all a couple more seconds, man.
My mother wasn't very hip to hood movies.
And that's my point though. It's not one of them. That's the whole point.
It's not?
That's the whole point. So, okay, I'm gonna paint the picture for y'all. We talking about Ice Cube, we talking about Doughboy, right? Doughboy from Boys in the Hood, right? Doughboy with the gangster nigga, Doughboy with the Levi's with the sweatshirt, and the whole get down, right? Lolos, he was putting in mad work, right? And we thought that's who he was, right? No, I know it's not Double Jeopardy.
Yeah, see, that's what came up on mine was Double Jeopardy.
Let me make sure. Let me see. Hold on, because I might have fucked everybody up. So give me 1 second.
I wasn't. I still had. I haven't said Double Jeopardy.
That was a good movie too, by the way. I was saying it wrong. Not Parsons, Persons. Maybe that'll help. Nick Persons was his name, not Parsons. Does that help? But y'all cheating though, because y'all looking online. Y'all using y'all Googles, or as the general called the Google machine. So y'all cheating. So anybody that gives the answer with the Google machine, it don't count. Nah, you can't answer now because you've been over there typing your life away. It don't count. So now anybody online, well shit, everybody online, because I can't see them, they probably use their Google too. So as a matter of fact, can't none of y'all answer. So I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all the answer, right? Nick Persons, right? Nick Persons is the dude that Ice Cube played on Are We There Yet?
Oh, dude.
That's why I went from Doughboy to Nick Persons, but we talking about the same nigga. So everybody thought he was Doughboy. But in reality, when you listen to what he said about the whole Kanye thing, he's really Nick Persons, the old cornball ass, corny nigga that's scared of his own shadow. Because that's who Nick Persons was.
Yeah, okay, kind.
Nick Persons, they have a G-bone in his body. You see what I'm saying? But Doughboy's supposed to be this hardcore nigga. You know what I'm saying? And that's who everybody thought Ice Cube was because you listen, West Side and all this other shit. So everybody thought he was them. He throwing up the fingers and he looking crazy and shit like that. But in reality, he's really Nick Persons. Right. You know what I'm saying? He's the nigga that when his wife gets mad at him, he does everything but literally bend over backward to make her happy, even though she was in the wrong.
This man do research.
Which is what a lot of you suck ass niggas do, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. Right? The point that I was trying to make is he's more that, right? And the reason why I'm saying that and I'm using this is because this man right here, according to his own words, when the whole Kanye thing came out, he was mad that they was tying him in to the whole Kanye thing, right? And this brother right here said, I've never been anti-Semitic, right? So y'all tell me who's the one who said, I done seen Snoop give away Eddie Bauer, so fuck Jerry Heller and the white superpowers. Who said that?
Wait, say that again, Salakia?
I done seen Snoop give away Eddie Bauer, so fuck Jerry Heller and the white superpowers.
Oh, Q said it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sound a little anti-Semitic to me, because if you know who Jerry Heller is a fake Jew.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, and then if you go back to No Vaseline, what did he say? He said, let me see. I'm trying to think of the lyrics. Because he was talking about Eazy-E, and he called Jerry Heller a white Jew.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So by you calling him out, and by a majority of your records when you first came out, you was calling them devils. As a matter of fact, you have a song called "Horny Little Devil." Sounds a little anti-Semitic to me. You see what I'm saying? So again, I said all that to say, do not let these celebrities, because they have a platform or because they got a microphone, don't let them fool you. When they catch that, when they get that real heat up under them, they'll show you what they really made of. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie and Kanye, they're the exception to the rule. Nick Cannon might be coming back home. You know what I'm saying? He might, you know what I'm saying? Teddy Riley, there's a few of them. But overall, you know what I'm saying? They all have one thing in common, and that's money. So now, that's why 1 Timothy 6:10 is such a heavy scripture and it gets destroyed, but it needs to be said it needs to be said properly to get a complete understanding of it. Because Christians say that when they read the scripture, probably because it's they're reading from a different version, but when they read it, they say money is the root of all evil.
Right.
But that scripture actually reads, for the love of money is the root of all evil. That's 1 Timothy 6:10. And so their love of money is why they're anti-Kyrie, even though off camera, they probably, hey, bro, I'm with you, man. Anything I can do to help, let me know. Hey, but just don't get mad at me when the cameras come on, though. Don't take it personal, bro. It's just business.
You know what the game is.
Yeah, you know what time it is. You know how the game is played. I'm just playing the game. You see what I'm saying? Come on with it.
So I have a question, though, right? With, what Ice Cube did at the time, he was beefing with Snoop and Eazy-E. So how come there was no anti-Semitism labels being thrown at Ice Cube at that time, but now it is? Like, is it just because that was anti-Semitic? That was anti-Semitic as hell. He called the dude a white devil.
Right. He called
not even to say a white Jew, but mind you, technically that would be anti-Semitic in itself because that's implying that Jews aren't even white.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So why wasn't being anti-Semitic not thrown at him at that time?
That's a good question. I think the only thing that I can think of is because you didn't have social media back then. So things didn't catch the same kind of, it didn't gain traction then like it does now. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things that Michael Jordan did when he was playing that he was able to get away with because there was no social media. You see what I'm saying? If some of the things that Jordan was doing while he was playing actually came out, or there was social media back then, who knows how we would look at him as a person. Although we, in the truth, we look at him as a sucker. You know what I mean? Because he ain't never took a stance on anything. You get my point? And even though he's been retired for the last 20 plus years, he still has one of the biggest voices amongst black folks.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But the whole thing about it is, though, right, and something that's being ignored as well is, right, Kyrie said, how can I be anti-Semitic when I'm Semitic? And nobody's talking about that part. You see what I'm saying? And so what we have to understand is the control that these so-called Jews have over the narrative. Because if you think about it, Colin Kaepernick, when he took that knee, going back to him, he took the knee, you know what I'm saying, because of police brutality and the crime that was being committed against his people. But what was the narrative that was created by the so-called white man?
With Kaepernick?
Yeah.
That Kaepernick,
go ahead.
That Kaepernick, basically Kaepernick didn't support the troops and was just basically anti-America is basically what they were saying.
You see what I'm saying?
If I could add on to that, which technically, if you think about it, with what he was actually taking a kneel for and what they were saying is technically true to say that he's anti-American, because it is American to sit there and constantly put the foot and bullet in a black man on the black man, like on the black man's head.
You see what I'm saying? So now when you look up, and then the thing is, when you even look at, you know what I'm saying, what it means to be Semitic, right? Or when you look up the definition, right, it says relating to or denoting a family of languages that includes Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic, and certain ancient languages such as Phoenician and Akkadian, constituting the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family. So now, with that being said, does that not sound like us? Because we're the Jews. So technically, according to the definition, if we were saying something that was anti-Semitic, would we not be talking about ourselves? But them being the bullies and the thieves that they are, they've even taken a definition and made it their own. You see what I'm saying? That's what he does. You know what I mean? Him changing the narrative to fit his motive, you know what I mean, is the crafty counsel that the Bible speaks of. It's one of many examples that I can give of the white man being a white man. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what they said about Colin Kaepernick, disrespecting the flag and troops. But he never said anything about neither one. Not one time. He even explained his whole reason and everything, but they never talked about that part. Yeah, and to the sister's point about Ice Cube, everybody focused more on the beef that he had with his brothers and ignored, you know what I'm saying, the comments that he made about Jerry Heller. You know what I mean? Because they don't want us, they don't, and I mean it just shows Cube, you know what I'm saying, he's a whore for money, just like Shaq and Barkley and the rest of these cats, right?
Right.
So I have a couple of scriptures to go along with that, but you know what I'm saying, we can pretty much break off that because I think everybody gets the point that and that goes into the topic, right? But if anyone has any questions or comments off this topic, you know what I'm saying, you can go to type them in ISUPK Las Vegas on Facebook, ISUPK Nevada on YouTube, and ISUPK Arizona as well. All right. Any questions or comments, go ahead and type them in. The thing is that when I talk about these things, when I talk about the cowardice of these brothers, right? And it's almost embarrassing to call them brothers. You get what I'm saying? And it's because, and the thing is that the wise thing to do is not say anything at all. If you're not well versed in something, you shouldn't talk about anything that you don't know anything about. You see what I'm saying? I'm not a surgeon, so therefore I'm not going to talk about all the preparation, you know what I'm saying, that a doctor does before he performs surgery. I don't know the names of the tools and the instruments that he uses to perform that surgery, so therefore I'm not going to speak on it.
Right.
You get my point? And so these brothers right here, the best thing for them to do is say nothing at all. You're jumping on Kyrie Irving and you don't even understand what it is where he's coming from.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Kyrie Irving had a target on his back the day that he said that he doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving because his mom's a Native American.
That was very sorry. That's right.
And that's when the whole anti-Kyrie thing started. It was way before him posting, and again, posted a video. Not one time did he say, "Hey man, fuck them fake ass Jews. They frauds. When you see one, you know what I'm saying, make sure you rob him. You know what I'm saying? Death to all the fake Jews. That's why Hitler did what he did. They got what they deserved." He never said a thing. You see what I'm saying? But how about the person who actually made the movie? How about him? How about Amazon? Nobody gonna say nothing to him? No. Amazon don't get no heat. How about Shaq being a big whore that he is, playing that very same movie in his movie theater? No? That's cool. You see the problem? So this is why, you know what I'm saying, the truth is so important, because it'll give you the ability to cipher through all the nonsense. You see what I'm saying? And this is what we need in 2022. You know what I mean? We need to see the oppressor for who he is, and we need to understand that the physical chains may have come off, but the chains are still on. Think about it. Even these athletes that got these multi-million-dollar contracts, right? If you don't dance the way I want you to dance, your contract means nothing. Your contract may as well be written on toilet paper. You get what I'm saying? Because in this contract, like if you play for the Yankees, for example, you are not allowed to grow a beard if you play for the Yankees.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding. Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's why if you notice, they're either cleanly shaven or they just got that mustache. It's been like that for a long time.
I watch baseball.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, look that up. You know what I'm saying? The Yankees, they ain't having it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, your sideburns can only go so far, unless they didn't kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of eased up off of that. But the beard thing, no, that's still a thing. Go ahead.
That's only the club. That club.
The New York Yankees.
Only the Yankees. That's not an MLB thing.
Yeah. No, that's the Yankees.
Wow.
Yeah. And so what this is said is heavy as hell too, because you know what I'm saying, Shaq was anti-Kyrie, but had no problem taking a picture with us.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
No, okay.
And knowing who he was and the whole get down. You know what I mean? And I mean, again, it just shows you, you know what I mean, that these brothers, man, we supposed to look at these dudes as who they are, athletes and entertainers.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You know what I mean? Some of the things that they say because they're paid to say them. You got to think about it. In those contracts, you have to make so many public appearances. You have to sign so many autographs.
Right.
You have to do all these things. You see what I'm saying? And you got and what's so crazy about the Kyrie thing, and I'm gonna come off of it in a minute because I'm gonna open up the floor for questions again, and I'm gonna go into this topic. Right? What you have to understand is we think that they're better than us or they're different than us. And in reality, the only thing that separates them from us is their tax bracket. You see what I'm saying? The proof is how they're being treated. They're being reminded that they're niggas. You get what I'm saying? Every time someone of stature says anything that's out of quote unquote character, you know what I'm saying? They got to be whipped back into place. You see what I'm saying? Like you gotta think about it, right? Harvey Weinstein Me Too'd how many females? How much press did that even get? Right?
It was kind of something that was talked about, but it was at the same time not really.
Exactly. Go ahead.
It was like a big deal for a little bit, but I think it was only for 2 weeks the most. And it was only a big deal because they were dragging other people with the Me Too movement, basically made it opened up for how Dave Chappelle started talking about being dragged in Me Too.
Right.
That's basically what happened with that. They opened it up and everyone started getting canceled supposedly for Me Too. But it wasn't anything like, a big deal. It barely even spoken about really.
Right. Nowhere near how they talking about Kyrie. Right. What about Jeffrey Epstein? You see what I'm saying? Not really. A lot of people don't even know anything. A lot of people don't even know that name. You see what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, and I'm not saying what that brother did was right, if he even did it. What Cosby did years ago caught more heat, you know what I'm saying, than the things that Weinstein was doing. You see what I'm saying? Which again, right? I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, if what Bill Cosby went to jail for, if he really did those things, then he deserved to go to jail. What I'm talking about is how much more they dragged him versus how much they dragged Weinstein. That's the only thing that I'm talking about. They both committed heinous crimes against women. You know what I'm saying? One was damn near swept up under the rug. The other one, he became public enemy number one. You know what I'm saying? Come on with it.
If I could, so Epstein was the devil that was doing the children sex trafficking, correct?
Yes.
Right? Okay, I would like to make a comment on that because I kind of talked about that on my Tuesday class. The crazy thing about that, especially since we're talking about how America picks and chooses who they want to villainize on the media, right? Mm-hmm. Epstein not really getting that much villainization, if that's even a word.
It is now.
Part of the reason why the United States military had the presence so long in Afghanistan was because part of the mission that they had created was to basically liberate the Afghani boys from the sex trafficking that they had in the Afghani. And mind you, this is part of their culture, where they would take children as young, I think it was either it was from 6 to 14 years old, and they would teach them how to dance in a seductive way, put on the makeup, do all of this girly things, and then teach them to dance, and then they would have a circle of these older men, and they would do the dance, and then the men would basically put bids on each of the children and go and take them. And America's military part of their MO for being in Afghanistan was to eradicate that. But yet, where's the eradication here for the Americans that are actually doing that?
You see what I'm saying?
So
that was an excellent point that you made, and that's the thing, though. You know what I mean? Like it's just so funny how, you know, how patriotic America claims to be, especially with tomorrow being Veterans Day, right? And the thing about it is, once a year, well, maybe a couple times a year, they make these old geezers dust off their uniforms and put them uniforms on and barely walk their ass out into the middle of somebody's football field and pledge allegiance to this flag and all this other kind of stuff. And once they done parading these old decrepit bastards in front of this flag, right, they're going to sweep them back up under the bridge and tell them to figure out where they're going to get their next meal from. You see what I'm saying? It's a fraud. America is a fraud. They're just fraud. Everything about them is fraudulent. You got to think about it. This is supposed to be the land of the free, and you're supposed to have freedom of speech, right? Kyrie didn't say anything, and he still got suspended from the NBA and from the Nike deal for not saying anything.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The KKK is allowed to march all through the streets of Atlanta, and nobody stops them because freedom of speech. You see what I'm saying? But meanwhile, Kanye comes out and says that the Jews are black, and he's being anti-Semitic. So which one is it? Is he being anti-Semitic, or is he allowed to, you know, speak freely? Which one is it?
Right.
Well, we have to understand that Constitution has nothing to do with us. You're allowed to speak freely if you're not a nigga.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The white man can say whatever the hell he wants. You see what I'm saying? And he can profit off of us however he wants. This is why the music is so destructive the way it is. You see what I'm saying? This is why y'all heard the Leora Cohen interview. Leora Cohen got mouths to feed. So that's why he's going to sign the nigga that's talking about, you know what I'm saying, doing and flipping women and prostituting and all this other kind of stuff, as opposed to the brother that's saying, hey man, we need to stop the black on black thing. We need to come together as one people. Did you want to ask something? Monica, you had your hand up?
Counselor, I was just thinking when I was in class with Officer Tuesday that we were talking about this, and it's really sad that like the brothers just jumped on the bandwagon, and just like the Kyrie didn't do anything, and then you got these cowardly brothers that just jumped on this bandwagon, and it's like crucify, right? Yeah. So the same way that they're yelling crucify, if they weren't cowards, we could put a stop to the way that they treat us. Yeah. But they are so afraid that they're gonna lose a little bit of money. Right. You know, and then it's really sickening because they are imprisoning our men in the actual prison houses for crimes they did not commit. Now they are imprisoning our men on the outside of the prison houses for crimes they did not commit. Right. And that's an excellent point. And just like the sister said, Americans want to hold everyone accountable except themselves. And that is an excellent point. Right. You know what I'm saying? Another sister said America is a fraud in a facade. And that's exactly what it is, right? And so the thing about it is we was talking about modern day buck breaking earlier, right? And everything that y'all seeing in the news today is modern day buck breaking, right? Well, it's no different than telling. I'm not sure how big this brother is, but regardless, he's a brother. He's a pretty big brother, right? You want to see another example of modern day buck breaking? All you gotta do is look at Medea. Man, if that's not buck breaking, I don't know what is. I mean, that cat got to easily be 6'2", 240, easily. You see what I'm saying? From Tyler Perry to Martin Lawrence to Will Smith to Chris Rock, you know what I mean? To the Wayans brothers. Right? I don't think Keenan ever put one on, but I know for sure Sean and Martin put one on for sure. You get my point? And so there's just countless amount of brothers who, you know what I'm saying, for the sake of the love of that money and that gift destroying their hearts. You see what I'm saying? We're willing to put a dress on to get a laugh. That's how big of a whore we are to the so-called white man. And the sister brought up somebody, she went old school, and she talked about Grandmama, the brother from the Converse commercial. Who knows who Grandmama is from the Converse commercial?
back in the day. Except the sister who put Grandmama in the chat, because you obviously know who he is. Anybody remember those commercials, the Grandmama commercials, them Converse? The fact that I'm saying Converse, y'all niggas like, who the hell, what is a Converse? I'm not saying convert, okay? I'm saying Converse, goddammit. It's a shoe.
Our generation,
goddammit, it's a shoe. You niggas don't know nothing outside of Chuck Taylor's, goddammit. Who was Grandmama? Anybody know? I'm gonna give y'all a few seconds because that was a good one. Come on with it.
Was it she the grandma that would come? She was dribbling the basketball all around and shooting and everything on the commercials.
Yes.
Okay. There was a black man in drag.
Yes, it was. He was actually one of, at the time in his prime. He was one of the best players in the league.
Yeah. Sad.
Damn, nobody know who Grandmama is. You want to take a shot?
Oh no, I don't know who it is, but I was gonna say out of all the older women that there is in the world, they couldn't just cast the actual female though, right? Like I it's beyond me how many times they get these brothers to dress up as women when there's so many women to cast. Like, why can't you just cast a woman?
Now you're being anti-Semitic right now. You know what I'm saying? That's not cool what you're saying right now. You can't. You're not allowed to think rational in this country, okay? And that's what happens when you take off the Christianity glasses. You're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, why you just couldn't get a woman? You know what I'm saying? Or a young woman and dress her up like an older woman. You know what I'm saying? Because most older women are not able to do some of the stunts that they do. So I get it. But to your point, right? But that just makes too much sense. Because again, the answer is, and you're right, but the answer is, again, modern day buck breaking.
Right.
I'm going to take this big, strong black man who everybody looks up to and respects, and I'm going to show y'all how much of a bitch he is because I'm going to make this nigga put on a dress for some money. Right. Come on with it.
I don't know Grandmama either, but I did have two things, two comments.
So disappointing.
Off of what she had said, what the sister had said.
So disappointing. Nobody knows who Grandmama is. Go ahead, man.
Yes, I don't know who Grandmama is. But, off of what what the sister had said and with, this whole, buck breaking and whatnot as a whole. So, like, first of all, like, people like Shaq putting on, these women clothes and whatnot. Guess who's actually following suit? Because everybody looks at it, the youth looks at it, thinks it's, it's all for shits and giggles.
Right.
It's funny. If he's doing it, it's okay for me to do it. Then, everybody sees it when, what do they call it? Spirit Week for school. And then all of a sudden, all the kids, there's, what do they call it? Like what did they call it when we was in school? It was like,
isn't it Sadie Hawkins?
No, not Sadie's. It's when the boys are supposed to dress like girls and girls dress like boys. It's a literal Spirit Day holiday
that they're still doing today, mind you.
Right. And mind you, today it's bigger today than it was when when we was in school. Let alone, I'm pretty sure if they even had it when you was in school, I know it wasn't as big, but it's getting bigger and bigger because of these brothers are putting on, these clothes more and more often.
Yeah.
No, not Sadie's. Sadie's is where we just match. We wear the same. No, they cross because Sadie's Hawkins is where you just wear the same exact thing. So I can wear a white t-shirt and some jeans, and that's what she's got to wear. But it's also supposed to be the girl who asks the boy out. And then we wear exact matching outfit. What I'm talking about is during Spirit Week. It's usually during homecoming, where the boys show up in dresses and the whole shebang.
We didn't do that when I was in high school.
No, it's I've seen it actually become like
it's a regular thing now. Like it's a regular thing. One day out of the school year, right? Today, right? The girls dress like boys and the boys dress like girls. And the crazy thing about it is, even if that wasn't a day designated, they doing that anyway.
Nah, fact.
You know what I'm saying? What happens is on that day, they just take it to another level. You get my point? But the answer to the question, who Grandmama was doing the Converse commercials, was Larry Johnson. Now, I don't expect you two women to know, and I don't expect most of the sisters to know, but if there's any brothers in this chat that knows anything about the NBA and don't know who Larry Johnson is, I'm disappointed. Because, again, when he was in his prime, Larry Johnson was that dude. Look him up. He was that dude.
Didn't he come from UNLV? Yeah.
This sister right here, man. See how fuck you all right with me, man. He did go to UNLV. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Larry Johnson. He was that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, the running rep. Yeah, he was that dude. Yes, Larry Johnson is who I was talking about. And all you that grew up in Vegas, y'all not real Vegas residents. If y'all don't know nothing about that 91, that 1990-91 UNLV team that was beating the hell out of everybody, mind you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Larry Johnson and Stacey Augmon were the dudes on that team. But Larry Johnson went on to be a superstar. And you know what I mean? But again, it was just buck breaking been going on for a long time. Like I said, they took the chains off, but they didn't take the chains off. You see what I'm saying? Right? And if I could, right, to the point of, you know, who the real superpower is, you know what I'm saying? Which is what Kanye was talking about, right? Check this out. Listen to this real quick, right? According to, let me see, who's this? It says 6 Jewish corporations own 96% of the media, right? I'm gonna read off a few, which is the same thing that Kanye did. You got Sony, Paramount, Fox, Comcast, the Walt Disney, I may as well say White Disney Company, Walt Disney, White Disney, same thing, right? And if I could real quick, we talking about Paramount, right? Paramount, you know what I'm saying, and Comedy Central, you know what I'm saying, a partner, right? And the thing that put Comedy Central on the map is South Park. And what is South Park known for more than anything else? Go ahead.
Being anti-Semitic.
Being anti-Semitic. But I guess when it's white people being anti-Semitic, it's okay. Because if anti-Semitic was really a big deal, shouldn't South Park have been canceled after the first season? But yeah, they just did a 25th anniversary special a couple of weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And if being anti-Semitic was so whatever,
mm-hmm.
Why didn't they check the man at Amazon? Why didn't they check the Amazon man for selling the book in the first place?
Right.
The Hebrews to
right.
What is it?
Hebrews to Negroes.
Yeah. That's like really old. It's been on Amazon forever for sale, and the movie's been. I mean, this is old news.
You see what I mean?
Why they didn't check Amazon?
Right.
Or the man who even wrote the book.
Yeah. And that's what we were talking about earlier. And you're absolutely correct, because again, 96%. No, it says 6 Jewish corporations own 96% of the media. So Sony, Paramount, Fox, Comcast, Walt Disney. Who else we got? TMZ, Showtime. Who else we got? The CW, Vice, ESPN, HBO, CNN, Marvel, Lucasfilm, TriStar. Who else? Who else is on here? DreamWorks, Columbia, and that's just a few. I didn't even read them all. That's just a few of them. You see what I'm saying? So now, with them in power, right? Who controls the narrative?
They do.
You get what I'm saying? And so that's the thing. And so that's why you can come out and say, hey, listen, I shared this video, right? And I'm not even talking about that particular video. I'm just, as an example, I shared this video because I'm trying to wake my people up. I want my people to start doing a little bit more thinking and stop being so violent and start doing a little bit more thinking, right? And they'll turn it into something completely different. They'll chop up that interview to the point to where you would think he was promoting black on black crime.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? This brother will talk about the experience that he had with an ex-girlfriend or his ex-wife or something like that, and they'll chop it up and turn this dude into a pedophile because this is the power that they have. You get what I'm saying? And so, what we have to understand in the midst of all this, what we have to understand is who the devil is. If we haven't learned anything else over the last couple of weeks, if we haven't learned anything else, at the minimum, we should have learned that these white folks look at us as nothing more but niggas.
That's right.
Get out in the field and pick my cotton. Right? What is the cotton picking now? Dribbling a basketball, being able to run with a football, or being able to tackle somebody with a football. Ain't nothing changed but the date.
That's it.
You get what I'm saying? Oh, the sister said they probably own some of the sports teams too. How about a majority of them? And if they're not owned by a fake Jew, they're still owned by a so-called white man.
That's right.
The only team off the top of my head that is not owned by a so-called white man is the Charlotte Hornets. And Michael Jordan don't even own the whole team. He owns the bigger piece of the team. And now you got to think about how much of a good nigga Michael Jordan must be, because they actually allowed him to own a piece of a franchise. But when the Carolina Panthers went up for sale a few years ago, Puff Daddy was trying to buy him. They probably didn't even let Puff Daddy sit down at the table, right? How about when the Clippers came up for sale a few years ago, right? Dr. Dre was trying to buy the Clippers. They wasn't having it. You see what I'm saying? So now, Steve Ballmer ended up buying the Clippers, right? And how he was able to buy the Clippers is he outbid everybody. He paid for that franchise. He spent more on that franchise than what it was actually worth. He paid $2 billion for that franchise. I forget the value of that franchise at that time, but he paid $2 billion, right? Do you know at that time he was worth $20 billion? So the $2 billion that he spent, he did that just as to say, I got a new toy. Y'all check me out. I can and you can't. That's the ultimate I'm finna shit on niggas move right there. Like, think about it. This cat bought a franchise and is still a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? So you got you. So just that alone, you know what I'm saying, should let you know who's running the show. The flip side is, which you must understand, is it's only for a short time. You get my point?
That's
right. And so, the only way to extinguish the fire, you know what I'm saying, that's been set by these devils or by these oppressors or colonizers, whatever word that you want to use, is by coming home. And what I mean by coming home is coming back to your culture, your identity.
Right.
Embrace the fact that you are a Jew. Separate from these other nations. We have enough money amongst our own to where we can have our own everything.
That's right.
We didn't even have these resources doing Black Wall Street. Right, Armando? We didn't have these the resource that we have now. We didn't have any, and we was thriving.
Absolutely.
We was big owned. And so for those that don't know, the first act of terrorism on American soil was the attack on Black Wall Street. All over a lie, all over deception. But this is the good old US of A. And you want us to call ourselves Americans, right? But yet you just hurt another American. You drop bombs on your fellow Americans. You see the hypocrisy, you know what I'm saying, of the so-called white man? This is what he does. This is why he's called the devil. Because no one does more deceiving than him. Because he'll do something like that, but then tomorrow, because it's Veterans Day, he's gonna give kids a day off, no school for the kids. Some of these buildings are gonna be shut down for the day, and all these other kind of things. But in reality, I know several veterans, you know what I'm saying, that's waiting on, you know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, man, I did mine. You know what I mean? Why you keep kicking me? I did mine. You know what I'm saying? But once you leave, you know what I'm saying, the military is no different than sports. When you're in your prime, we can do something with you. And we're going to make you the man. You know what I'm saying? And when them knees get shot, and you can't jump out of no more planes, and you can't do no more tuck and roll, you know what I'm saying? And you can't put the face paint on and blow up a whole bunch of civilians and all that, you know what I'm saying? You'll find yourself sleeping up under a bridge and eating out of trash cans. And we talk to a brother that's doing that very same thing. Talk to a brother, a vet who's homeless, who's in between houses, him and his wife. This is a military vet who gets less than $1,000 a month from his government. But yet he put his life on the line for less than $1,000 a month. Come on with it.
I was gonna say, to that point you're saying, they can get free donuts tomorrow, but they can't house these people. You got people living in the streets.
You see what I'm saying? Like, think about all the food that gets thrown away on a daily basis.
Man.
Think about, and again, and I see you. Think about. Okay, so as y'all know, I drive cement trucks as a slave, right? And so I deliver concrete all over Vegas. And all you see is new houses, new houses, new houses, and more new houses. All they doing is grading out this dirt and just throwing houses on top of them. And if y'all notice, they're making these houses closer and closer to each other. Why? So that they can maximize the space. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you how many times I've been to Lake Las Vegas and all that over there. I don't know if y'all have ever been there, but if y'all haven't been there, when the last time y'all been there from right to left? When the last time you've been to Lake Las Vegas?
Right before I pushed off from basics. That was January 2014.
How about you? When the last time you've been to Lake Las Vegas?
Maybe 14, maybe 16, 2016, maybe. I don't think I've been there.
Okay. No problems. I'm saying that for a reason. I promise you, and I've only been living out here. Well, I only been driving up there. They've been sitting there. I started working there in February, so I've been working there 9 months, right? It looks different to me, and sometimes I have a hard time finding a job that I'm going to go deliver to. And I've been going there for the last 9 months. I guarantee y'all wouldn't recognize it. There's no way in hell that y'all would recognize Lake Las Vegas anymore because of all the new houses that have been built over there. All you just think about Via Inspirada. Any of y'all familiar with Via Inspirada? Right there off the 15, you get off on Sloan Road. If you coming north on the 15, right, and you get off on Sloan, you make that right, and then you make a left onto Las Vegas Boulevard, right? Via Inspirada is an access road now. A few years ago, you had to take Las Vegas Boulevard down to Volunteer, but now there's an access road right there, and if you go down Via Inspirada access, right, all you see is houses upon houses upon houses, and that's just in the last 5 years. You wouldn't believe how much Vegas has changed in the last few years. Where am I going with this? The point is, all these new houses, but yet all these houseless people.
Right.
You see the problem? Right there on St. Rose Parkway. How many of y'all familiar with St. Rose Parkway? Have y'all been over that way lately? Man, let me tell y'all something. I promise y'all wouldn't recognize it. If you take Las Vegas Boulevard to St. Rose Parkway, if you're going north on Las Vegas Boulevard and you make that right on St. Rose Parkway, so now you're going east, going towards Henderson, you wouldn't recognize nothing over there. Nothing. From the Sam's Club to the Nacho Daddy to the Popeyes to the Subway. I mean, listen, man, you wouldn't even listen, man. It'll make your head spin. Like the sister said, it's unrecognizable from just a few years ago. Come on with it. I didn't forget about it. Go ahead.
No, yeah, kind of. If I could, sir, bugs me the most about these homeless veterans is the fact that, I constantly get emails and, letters in the mail and whatnot of, the new programs that the VA has for veterans. And one of the big things is that politicians love to push is new programs that they want to do for the homeless. But because I believe you were right there when I was having some of that conversation with that brother, where I started to engage him and ask him okay, but do you know about this? And what was his response?
He had no idea what he was talking about.
I was talking about.
Right.
So you're going to create a program, it look good on paper, but yet how is this brother supposed to know about this? How is his sister supposed to know about this?
You see what I'm saying?
If I could, Yahweh shine from the ISUPK for, where there's brothers like myself who have some knowledge of this. And then also, we get sent out on mission to go and reach out to our brothers and sisters in the first place, where now they actually have an opportunity to learn about this.
Right.
Because, if that wasn't ever our mission objective is to help out our people, that brother would have never, they would never know about that period.
Right.
Or even have the opportunity. So
right. You know what I mean? And so I'm gonna sum all that up. No. I definitely dig it. Right. And so to sum all that up, because we're gonna get into the topic. This is supposed to be a scripture breakdown class, and I did a whole lot of talking and he broke down not near scripture, right? So like it for that. I mean, it's just a topic, you know what I'm saying, that we were supposed to go into last week. But you know, new brothers and sisters in class, you know what I'm saying, they had questions. They did exactly what they were supposed to do, which was ask questions. You get my point? And so I had to, you know what I'm saying, carry this topic over to the following week, right? So to sum all this up, right, we're gonna go to I believe it's Mark. Let me see. No, it's not Mark. Let me see something. Okay. Give me Mark 8:36. Yeah, that's what I want.
Okay. This is the book of Mark, chapter 8, verse 36, written in red. Mm-hmm. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
Read that again.
Okay. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
Uh-huh.
Verse 37. Uh-huh. Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
You see what I'm saying? And so that right there is your Shaquille O'Neals and your Charles Barkley's, you know what I mean? And your TD Jakes and your Creflo Dollars, you know what I'm saying? And your Megan Thee Stallions and your Cardi B's. And I can go on and on and on and on and on. Your Lil Wayne's even, you know what I'm saying? Your Birdmans, you get what I'm saying? Your Jay-Z's and your Puff Daddies. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got to think about it. Right after Kanye came out and said all the things that he said, right? Right after he had got done talking about the beef that him and Puff had because of Puff's relationship with the fake Jews, who's the richest man in rap now? Anybody want to take a wild guess?
Is it Eminem?
No.
50 Cent?
Mm-mm.
Oh, really?
So
who?
P. Diddy?
That's him.
Okay.
A little odd, ain't it? Kanye just got done talking about his brother and how they had beef because of his association with the fake Jews, and then poof, pow, out of nowhere, Puff Daddy is now the man, richest man in all the entertainment, and you know what I'm saying. Welcome him to the Billionaires Club and all this other nonsense.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're always going to try to find a way to shit on us, and they shit on us with our own people. Kanye mentioned that he had beef with Puff. What did they do? They put Puff on a pedestal. On a pedestal. You see how I mix pedestal and platform? I just made a new word.
Yeah, you did.
You know what I'm saying? Pedestal.
I think it's platypus.
You know what I'm saying?
Cross between a beaver and a duck.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Pedestal is a new word. You know what I'm saying? I bet y'all won't find that in y'all Google machine. God damn it. Pedestal, god damn it. Coined by yours truly. You know what I'm saying? Making new words around this joint. You understand me? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Listen, man, hey, get like that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but nah, the point is, you know, the whole point in all this is everything that's going on is all found in this book.
Right.
There's been sellout niggas since the beginning of time. Adam was a sellout nigga.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Adam was a sellout nigga. Sold out to his woman.
Right.
That's true.
There's different forms of being a sellout.
Some of he's behind it.
Yeah, and look, man, listen, that you know what? I'm not even I'm gonna leave that alone.
So like that's a joke I got in mind.
That's a whole nother conversation for another day. But you are correct because that nigga tucked tail fast. That nigga said it was the woman.
She gave it.
You know what I'm saying? No, nigga, your whole ass took it. How about that? Instead of checking her dog ass. Man. How about that? You know what I mean? Some of you niggas need to learn from Adam. You know what I mean? And I don't mean do what he did, because that's what y'all already doing.
Right. Fact.
How about y'all do the opposite of what Adam did?
Right.
First of all, don't eat the fruit. Well, first of all, the fruit ain't fruit. Let's make sure we get that understood.
That's right.
Fruit. What kind of fruit was it? Was it kumquats? Was the nigga eating watermelon? You know how niggas is. That nigga was eating watermelon, wasn't he? Man, I knew that nigga was eating that watermelon. No, nigga. He wasn't eating fruit, goddammit. It wasn't actual fruit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These the same niggas that think that's where Fruit of the Loom came from. Because Adam, you know what I'm saying, covered himself up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, listen, man. We got to do better as a people. We got to stop being so goddamn simple. You know what I'm saying? Adam didn't eat actual fruit. At some point, he probably did. At some point, I would imagine.
Not according to the script.
But not there. Not in that context. Okay? Eve ate hella fruit as well. You know what I'm saying? At some point. But not in that context. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure at some point they would eat each other's fruit. So like, yeah. Okay, you know what? Let's get into the topic. Right.
So
Yeah.
Topic
yes, topic. We do have one.
Title.
Yes.
Peaches and bananas?
Yeah. This thing finna go off the rails fast. Let's rein everything back in. No. Listen, man. You cannot serve the Lord and be double-minded. So, yes, this is a perfect time to get into the topic because, again, listen. Every topic that's taught in the UPK, you know what I'm saying, is a topic that you can apply to your daily life.
Yeah, facts.
Everything that's in this book can be applied to your daily life.
Facts.
And although I made light of Adam and what he did, you know what I'm saying, it's not something to be taken lightly.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the thing about it is, the proof that we come from his seed is that we're doing it to this day.
Right.
You niggas is cream puffs behind these women.
And
you women is dumb as hell because y'all want to be put on a pedestal. Or is it platitude? Or platform? Whatever the hell. I'm just making up words on it. Listen, man. I'm a walking, living, breathing thesaurus around this motherfucker.
I'm an inventor of words.
Yes. So somebody look up what it means to be an inventor of words, and you're gonna see my picture like this. Like, yeah, nigga, and my C-boy standing like, yeah,
what's that blacksmith for words?
Yes, that. I'm that. You understand? Nigga, in my 80s pose, nigga. I don't even listen, man. Okay. Go ahead. This thing can go off the rails fast. Go ahead.
About Adam, right? And he said, you know, she gave me the fruit or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then he turned around and tell the Most High, it's the woman that you gave me.
And that's it. Listen, that was so bitch made right there. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something.
So he didn't want to take responsibility.
That nigga Adam tucked tail so goddamn fast. He tucked tail so fast. He even tried to blame it on the Most High. And you know, but I'm gonna tell you something. And I'm not on the left hand side. You know how much courage it took to blame the Most High? Nigga, Adam. Boy, you got to be cut different to blame the Most High for any goddamn thing.
I thought you gave me a woman I could listen to.
Yeah, right, exactly. Oh, Adam was a next level sucker. You know what I mean? And you niggas out here is just like him. And some of you sisters out here is just like Eve. And that is not a compliment.
No, it's not.
You see what I'm saying? Don't be like, listen, brothers, don't be like Adam. Sisters, don't be like Eve. Okay? Be better. That was the point of that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? It was because of them and their weakness. It's in our DNA to this day.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, think about it. And what the sister said, and listen, we're paying for our weaknesses. I know it sounds cliche and corny, you know what I'm saying? But that just say no to drugs thing, that's a real thing. You really should say no to drugs. The DARE program back in the day with the crime dog and all that.
Yours was a dog. We had a lion.
Come on with it, man.
I was gonna say, just on that DARE thing though, the crazy part of it was they taught us all about drugs though. Like, you know, the point of don't do drugs.
That is kind of
I
funny.
had never known any of that stuff or anything about pills until they taught us.
Yeah,
and
you know
they
what?
taught you everything about it, how it made you feel.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually fair.
It's crazy.
but then told you to say no.
No, right.
And you know what? And that's crafty counsel right there. Never mind. Just say no. Just focus on the just say no part. Don't focus on the lesson that the cops would actually come in and teach. Because they was actually full of it. But go ahead.
So they had a huge increase on people taking the drugs and whatnot once they started to implement the DARE program. It was a huge increase on people starting to do drug, weed, pills, all of that, all because of
the DARE program.
The DARE program.
And was it McGruff the dog?
McGruff the crime dog, man. Hey, listen, man. Hey, let me. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Take a bite out of crime." Yeah. You know what I mean? But McGruff, you know what? Okay. The point is, yes, he was that. Yeah, listen, man, McGruff, he was actually pretty cool. Actually, that trench coat. Listen, you know how many niggas wanted a trench coat because of McGruff the crime dog? Listen, man, listen.
Oh, is that where that cereal flasher came from?
Yes. What?
This cereal flasher. He said, "I like McGruff."
Let me get James the first chapter, man, because this thing's gonna go real bad, real fast. Let's get it cracking, man. Let's get it cracking. Nah, we gonna get into it, but no, this topic right here, you know what I'm saying, is a topic that everybody, you know what I'm saying, should really pay close attention to, because you'll mess around and realize and you'll listen to these scriptures and you won't even realize that this is you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Just because you know the truth, you know what I'm saying, does not mean that you are actually walking in truth.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so this right here, you know what I'm saying, will give you the strength and the courage that you need, you know what I'm saying, to walk into those minefields, you know what I'm saying, called America. You know what I'm saying? Let's get James 1:1.
Come on. This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting.
You see what I'm saying? That right there, I mean, we could do a class on that one scripture alone.
Man.
You see what I'm saying? Because that right there lets you know that he's talking to an exclusive people.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? And so anything that's outside of this, you know what I'm saying, should be considered anti-Semitic. So what the Jewish man is doing in reality is anti-Semitic.
Absolutely.
He's the real anti-Semite.
Yes, he is.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because he has stolen a culture that does not belong to him. He has stolen an identity that does not belong to him, and he has profited off of it.
Yep.
Right.
He has made he has taken it and has done so craftily with it that it is unimaginable that the so-called Negro can actually be a Jew, or the so-called Latino, or the so-called Native American. Think about that. Like him and his plan to destroy us has worked so effectively to the point to where we're not even worthy of being in this book. This book is all about them. And our history doesn't start until we got on them boats. That's the start of our history. So outside of that, we have no history, we have no identity, we have nothing. That's what they've done to us. You see what I'm saying? And we can get into that, you know what I'm saying, another time. But I just want to stop right there because I wanted to point this out because this is in the New Testament.
Matter of fact.
You see what I'm saying? And I know people love running to the New Testament. Well, run to that scripture and help me understand who this is. Because to this day, I have yet to hear a fake Jew profess his tribe. And I'll wait some more. You know what I'm saying? Until I hear that fake Jew come out and say that he's from the tribe of insert one of the tribes. Oh, those are the tribes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm just saying though, like, just help me understand. Like, where do you fit in? When we talk about the color scripture, when we talk about Christ, and we talk about the descendants of King David and the lineage of King David, where the hell do you fit in? And I don't want to run too much on that. You know what I'm saying? That's another conversation for another. We can definitely talk about that another time and go into the scripture, but I'm on about it. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say now the fake Jew, he can't find his tribe. But every time you meet a Mormon on the street, he can tell you which tribe he came from, right?
Boom, done.
Man, yeah, they recognize all 12.
Ultimate body bag. Go ahead.
If I could, right, real quick to what you had said about the fake Jew, because they do recognize David, kings like King David, King Solomon, right? They do recognize them, but yet they don't recognize the fact that King David and King Solomon have recognized the other 11 tribes. So, but why is it that the so-called Jew sits here and talks about, oh yeah, I'm the real Jew, and the rest of the entire world are Gentiles, and y'all are just being grafted onto our family tree if you decide to become a Jewish man or woman yourself. Where's the logic,
right,
or even practicality in itself?
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Excellent point. Come on with it.
And just to piggyback off what you were saying, they recognize King David, they recognize King Solomon, and Yahusha, but they don't recognize that they were black. They don't recognize that they say
wow
that I'm black.
Right there, that's heavy. No, that's an excellent point. And again, that's what separates us, you know what I'm saying, from the Christian church. Because in all my years of going to church, I had never heard the scripture. Matter of fact, I don't even remember hearing about James at all. You know why? Because James don't have anything to do with gaining money and scamming people out of money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's no prosperity scriptures in the book of James. So that's why you can hear about James in the church. You know what I mean? Let's get some more.
Verse 2. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into divers temptations.
Diverse temptations, right?
Oh, that's diverse?
Yeah. In other words, when you get tested, is what that's saying there. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Verse 3. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
You see what I'm saying? With this, okay. So what you got to understand is, right, what this scripture is talking about right here is when you go through these things, you know what I'm saying, it's going to let you know what you're made of.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to let you know, it's going to let you know if you're a lion or if you're an alley cat. You know what I'm saying? If you're a pit bull or if you're a little chihuahua. You know what I'm saying? If you got a pair or if you had to draw on a pair. You know what I'm saying? This is what being tested is going to show. It's going to really show what you made of. Yep. You get my point? You can say all those things that you want on those records. But what you gonna do when that little nerdy looking cat with the glass and the briefcase come knocking on your door? What you gonna do then? You see what I'm saying? In the small hat, and the little gay ass little curly things coming down. You see what I'm saying? What you gonna do? You see what I'm saying? That's how you know what you made of when they get to knocking at your door. And I don't mean literally.
No, right.
You see what I'm saying? They're not knocking on Kyrie Irving's door, but they knocking on his door. Absolutely. Y'all picking up what I'm laying down? And that's the thing, and that's what they've been doing to Kanye for the last month or so. You see what I'm saying? Ice Cube didn't want that knock on his door. You see what I'm saying? He didn't want no part of it. Go ahead.
Ice Cube had that one battle encounter with the Jew, and he said, "You know what? That's enough.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah.
No more for myself.
Yeah,
it's a lie.
Yeah, which lets you know he draws on his nuts. He don't really have a pair there. He draws them on. You know what I'm saying? He walks around with ghost nuts. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some more.
God, the book of James, chapter 1, verse 4.
Go ahead.
But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing.
You see what I'm saying? As you go through these things, you're gonna get stronger and stronger and stronger. You know what I mean? And you're not gonna worry about the things of this world. You're not gonna be jealous about the things that these other brothers. If you lose everything, you won't want for anything because the Most High gonna look out for you. He gonna make sure you got everything you need. You know what I'm saying? As the stronger you get in this truth, the more what's the word I'm looking for? The more simple things get for you. You see what I'm saying? The more content. That's the word I look. The more content you become. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So now, okay, I might not have a $40 million contract, but I have a $40 million house that's paid for. You know what I mean? Because I invested in this, and this. I'm still good and my family's good. And most importantly, I serve the Lord and he's going to be on my side. You know what I'm saying? So I don't give a fuck about what the fake Jews said. I don't care about none of that. If I retire today, I'm still good because I stood on, I passed my test.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? I stood on what the Most High taught me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I took what was put in my inward parts and I stood on that.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? This is what's required. If you really listen, Ecclesiastes said, paraphrasing it, you know what I'm saying? If you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for temptation. You see what I'm saying? That's in Ecclesiastes, it's the 2nd chapter. Good read, mind you. You had something?
I had a question. So could you use this verse right here for, you know, like a financial perspective? Like, take for example, you know, but let patience have her work, that he may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. So, you know, I feel like you kind of answered it with your example of, you know, okay, I can either have this $40 million contract or I can have this $40 million house paid for, right? So that patience, you know, like what General Hyman talks about a whole lot, how, you know, Blacks, Latinos, First Nation men and women, how we're damn near on just like the wrong end of thinking where we're just like, man, I hope I get in a car accident and, you know, so I can get a big payout. Right. I hope I can, you know, just something ridiculous happens so I can get a payout. Type thing. Right. Like, does that kind of fall in line with not the payout, but you know what I'm saying, with the finances with that? Just because, like, at the end of the day, I mean, hey, are your lights being cut off? Are you able to eat tonight, et cetera, et cetera? Yeah, it might suck with your situation. But we can still use this as far as like a financial breakdown. I guess that's my answer. I can use this as a financial breakdown.
Yes, you definitely can, because that's what it's talking about. Like, okay, so not only will you not be in want, right? When it comes to the financial side of it, but you won't be in want of anything. Meaning, you're not going to have to go to this God for this, so-called God. You won't have to pray to this. You won't have to light incense for this. You won't have to burn sage for this and all these other kind of things. When you serve the Most High and you pass those tests, you go to the Most High with everything that you're going through. And the Most High will direct you through those things. And you won't have a want for, when today is Thursday, so I got to talk to this God. And I got to read this horoscope, and I got to see what this which way the moon is facing, and all this other dumb shit. You see what I'm saying? When you serve the Most High, you don't want for anything. You see what I'm saying? So yes, you can if that was your question, definitely.
Okay, so if I can, with just one more question to that, the wanting, the not wanting for anything, it's not as simple as everything that you desire is going to be necessarily given to you, but you kind of shave off. You getting you having no want is the fact that a lot of things will get shaved off. And then like you actually understand. Okay, my needs are met, and I really don't have much desire.
You'll learn how to become content. Like think about all the chasing we did when we was in the world. We thought we had to have this. Since we've been in truth, we trip on any of those things. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm speaking for myself personally, and it's not it's about me shit. I just think about the limited pair of tennis shoes I actually own. Why? Because I just don't care that much. I'll rock these boots. You know what I mean? This brother can attest to that because I rarely see this brother out of boots. You see what I'm saying? Because it ain't no thing. It doesn't matter that these shoes just came out. You know what I'm saying? And they won't say, oh, listen, man. And with that being said, do not take this as you're not allowed to have nice things.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Don't turn it into that. The point is, you know what I'm saying, you'll learn to be content with or without those things. Is the point that I'm trying to make.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? And so that's what starts to happen. You know what I'm saying? Paul says, I learned how to be a base, I learned how to be a bound. I'm paraphrasing, like meaning, you know what I'm saying? I know what it is to be on, I know what it is to be off. You see what I'm saying? When you know what I'm saying, just because you serve the Lord, it does not mean that your pocket is gonna be filled with unlimited bread.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that you're gonna be eating the biggest steaks you know what I'm saying, every night. You know what I mean? Or that you're going to have, you know what I'm saying, all these different flavors of wings with all the ranch you can get your hands on.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And all the beer that you can drink. You know, it does not mean that. You know what I'm saying? But when you miss a meal, no, you won't. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is look in the camera. You can tell I ain't missed not nary meal. I probably should. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't missed none. You know what I'm saying? Come on with it.
So it's like you said, I remember when I was little, my grandmother used to say, if you're going to pray, you can't worry. And if you're going to worry, then you can't pray. So is this wanting, it's like when you have a need of something, it's like it gives you peace when you're not in the wanting, because you have a peace, even though it might not be in your hand right now.
Yeah.
You know that the Most High is going to take care of it. So that's like you're not anxious in that.
No, and you shouldn't be. If you really about your Father's business and you believe every word in this book, even the ones that you don't understand, you're not gonna worry about tomorrow or next month or the month after. So I'm saying, give me real quick off topic. Give me Matthew 6:33. I believe I want 33 and 34.
6.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me check it out real quick.
Oh, yeah,
You see something? Yes, give me 33 and 34, please.
Okay. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 33. Written in red. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. And all these things shall be added unto you. Verse 34, written in red. Take therefore no thought for the morrow, for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof.
Meaning what? Who knows what our king was talking about right there? I give y'all a couple seconds. For time's sake, I might have to give it to y'all. I want to get a few more scriptures. Sister.
So he's saying, you don't have to worry. I mean, just deal with what's going on right here. And like, tomorrow's not promised to anybody. The next 30 seconds ain't promised. Just deal with the garbage that's going on right here, right now.
Boom.
And we'll get there if we get there.
Boom. Done. All right. You want to add to that? Because she just answered the question. Just broke the scripture down. Because that's exactly what it's talking about.
Yeah, that's basically what I was gonna say. It's
Smooth.
just, basically it says sufficient is the day, unto the day is the evil thereof.
Listen, man.
It's basically saying if you think about tomorrow, that in itself is creating evil.
Listen,
you
man.
setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, navigate through the hell that you face right here, right now. You know what I'm saying? Every day that you wake up is a gift from the Most High. Every day. You know what I mean? But we're not guaranteed that gift. If we serve the Lord, we're guaranteed everlasting life.
That's right.
Which means we'll come back. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean that we're gonna just live in these current bodies.
That's right.
So with that being said, why the hell are you worried about 10 years from now? Now, when I say that, does that mean that, you know what I'm saying, you can't tuck some money away? Is that what I'm saying? When I say, you know what I'm saying, don't worry about tomorrow, the month after, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is don't stress yourself out to the point where I didn't put no money away this week because I'm trying to save for 20 years from now. Okay, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna save money for 20 years from now and let your car run out of gas?
Really?
Are you gonna fill that goddamn car with gas so you can get back to your slavery? So then maybe the next week you'll be able to put that money away.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Worry about focus on what's right in front of you. Because there's no guarantee that neither one of us is gonna wake up tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Come on with it.
If I could, and before you even say it in the first place, everybody make sure that you pay your tithes. But could this be used as a tithes breakdown? To make sure that you pay your tithes when you are supposed to, rather than waiting until later. Like, for example, all right, I'm getting paid today. I get paid once a month.
Got you.
Right?
Okay.
So I should prioritize paying my tithes before I start paying anything else. Right?
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. So if I'm paying my tithes first before everything else, I'm not, not to say that necessarily evil will come my way, but I mean, we can at least say that's a safe a step to safeguarding from evil coming my way. At least because I started with that simple step of just, you know, I paid my tithes, and then I just continue doing what I know I was supposed to be doing in the first place.
You gotta think about it like this, right?
Who
do you fear more, that bill collector or the Most High?
The Most High.
Boom. So you're gonna pay your tithes first,
right?
And then all that other stuff, you know what I'm saying, fall where it may. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna get their money. They just gotta wait a little bit. They'll be all right. They ain't hurting.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? And that has to be the mentality. All that, oh man, I don't want to pay my tithes because I gotta pay this and that. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Most High only requires 10%.
So tithes does go with this.
Most definitely.
Okay, all right.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, and I'm pretty sure I speak for most brothers and sisters that's watching this tape and just across, you know what I'm saying, the four corners of the earth. When you get paid, that's the first thing you do. Before you do anything else, it starts with that and it's like, okay, what I gotta pay? Okay, this, and this. But tithes is like, it's mando.
Fast.
You know what I'm saying? You count it along with the bills. And I don't mean it like that, like tithing is a bill and it's a burden. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is you put it on the list with all the other things that you know, because I get paid, like for myself, I get paid on the 8th and the 23rd of every month. You know what I'm saying? So on the 8th, there's certain things that's due, and on the 23rd, there's certain things that's due, right? So on that list of things that's due on the 8th, you know what goes at the top? The tithes.
Right.
When I get paid on the 23rd, I got things that's due on the 23rd, but you know what goes at the top? The tithes.
Right.
And everything else will take care of itself. And if something does not get taken care of, you know what I'm saying? The Most High always finds a way. You know what I mean? He you know what I'm saying? He gonna look out. And that has to be our mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't say that you serve the Lord right up until a bill is due. You see what I'm saying? That right there is an example of the topic itself, which is being double-minded. How you gonna serve the Lord and then get nervous because your gas light is on? You see what I'm saying? When in reality, that's an easy fix. You just pick up the fucking phone. Slack. Didn't mean to say it like that, but you pick up the phone. And between the brothers that's scattered across the globe, you know what I'm saying? Your light, you know what I'm saying? That E-light that's on will get cut off. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Sister Lucky, sir, I have a question for you. Because more than just paying tithes, because you got all these freaking Christians out here. The first thing they holler, oh, I pay my tithes, I pay my tithes. Yeah, but then you go and you sit down and you eat that pig. You know, so paying the tithes, but also following all the statutes, the laws, and the commands of the Most High. So all the Christian people, their tithe is only going to the pastor anyway. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The Most High is not the most. The Most High is ignoring your tithes because your tithes doesn't cancel out the pork that you eat.
Right.
Well, I pay my tithes so I can eat. No, that's not how that works. You see what I'm saying? So the Lord is not with you, especially since you're not giving your tithe to the men of the Lord anyway. So what that is, that's just a donation. That's not even tithes because you're not giving it to the priest of the Lord.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The only way that you know that you're paying tithes is if you give it to the Israelite school of UPK. You know what I'm saying? Under the Most High in Christ and Commander General Yohanan. That's it. If you paying it to some church group up the street, you know what I'm saying? Which you just bought that man a new pair of boots. Or you just gave that nigga some fuck off money at Sam's Town or something like that. You know what I mean? He went to the stratosphere with your money. He went and bought a prostitute. You know what I'm saying? And he got her, you know what I'm saying, around the corner from the stratosphere somewhere, doing all kind of imaginable things with your money. But you think you're doing a good thing. You see what I'm saying? Come on with it.
If I could. So are we able to teach that tithe, us paying tithes is, like to what you were saying, all right, so I paid my tithes for the month, but then yet, you end up, oh man, my tank is coming up on E. What do I do? That's literally what your tithe, you paying tithes every month is for, like almost as if it's, this is our insurance policy for the nation. Are we able to? We can teach that.
Yes. Think about it. Okay. Think about it. Because what does Commander General Yohanan do with the tithes?
And pay people's rent, power bill, etc.
Done. So now, with that being said, see, you haven't paid for a jet or a car note. A real nice car too. You right. You know what I'm saying? Probably a Tesla or something.
If I may, the reason why I had that question was because originally I thought that the tithes was technically for the priests. So that because it wasn't, I'm a priest, a Levitical priest at that time at least. You weren't a Levitical priest and a farmer and some sort of tradesman. They were full-time priests. And this is just my understanding, so please correct me if I'm incorrect. Okay. So, was it also the same thing back then, if that is what the tithing was for in the first place, was so that way the Levitical priests can be full-time priests, and then obviously it's supposed to transfer over even to today and into the kingdom, or am I missing something or something incorrect? Okay, so the tithe is for the Levitical priests, right? Right. And so that was their job, right? However, right, all the time that was coming in, right, the priests once they was good, you know what I'm saying? They business was handled. You know what I'm saying? They looked out for the people. You know what I'm saying? They were the father to the fatherless. You know what I'm saying? They looked out for the widow. Right. How did they look out for the widows? With the tithe money. Right. You know what I'm saying? They looked out for the nation. You know what I'm saying? Because the priests weren't greedy. Just like today, the real priests aren't greedy. Right. That's why in the security announcements, you know what I'm saying? Priest funds, free will offering, not mandatory. Done. Right. You see what I'm saying? But when we talk about the tithes, we go into the Levitical law. Done. You see the difference? Because tithing is a law. That's right. Right? The priest funds is a free will offering, not mandatory. So as priests, we take what we need and the rest goes back to the nation. I understand. Okay, yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, kind of. So, all right. So with that, right, let's get back to James. Right? James 1 and 5, please. See how many we can bang out before this class is over. And again, so like y'all know, I've been a little long-winded with the Kyrie and Kanye topic. You know what I'm saying? I will not carry this topic into next week. I promise y'all will come with a brand new one. You know what I'm saying? Unless, and then what I can do is, if I don't finish this class while the brother's putting up James, if I don't finish this class, right, I can start next week by giving y'all the scriptures. And if y'all have any questions about any of them, y'all can bring them to class the following week. You see what I'm saying? Because I will not carry this into no 3-4 week thing. You know what I'm saying? We come with something brand new. All right. So we'll do it like that. Lord Allah, I can bang through all of them in the next 15 minutes or so. If not, you know what I'm saying? I can give them to y'all and we'll go from there. All right. It's like you said, James, what? 1 and 5. The book of James, chapter 1, verse 5. Shoot. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. Verse 6. Hold on. Who knows what upbraideth means? Shoot it. It's not being twisted up. It's not being tangled. It's not being twisted. It's going to be straightforward. Let's see. Give me a definition again. My definition, or you want me to pull it? No. What did you say upbraideth mean? Upbraideth is basically, that it's not going to be upbraideth is the fact that he's going to give it to you straightforward. It's not going to be twisted up. There is no, confusion or anything. It's going to be something. You're going to get what you want. Yes. Straightforward. Okay, yes. 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 The sister said tangled. You kind of on it, but I'm going to give y'all the actual definition, but what you're saying ties into the definition, right? The definition for upbraid means to reprove or reproach angrily or to find fault with, right? So the reason why what you're saying makes sense is I'm going to give it to you straightforward. I'm not going to chastise you. I'm not going to get mad at you because you don't have the wisdom. Right. I'm not going to do none of that. Right. I'm just going to give it to you. Right. You see what I'm saying? So like when the sister said tangled, the reason why you can say yes when the sister says tangled
is because you're not going to, you know what I mean, do this whole song and dance and cause confusion and no mix up. It's right here. You come to the Most High for wisdom, He's going to give it to you. He's not going to give it to you in a riddle and make you try to solve the riddle. Then I'll give you the wisdom. If you can solve this puzzle, then I'll give you the wisdom. No, I'm gonna give it to you. You know what I'm saying? The way you asked for it. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And concept. So like Yahushua did things in parables.
Yes.
That's the difference. Is that he did it in a parable, but in this one it says he will give it to you without it being a parable. He just gonna let you know exactly.
He's just gonna let you know what it is. You see what I'm saying? Because the wisdom, right? Okay. So you gotta remember, Christ was teaching, right? He was teaching. You know what I'm saying? He was giving you knowledge, right? The wisdom that it's talking about right here is different from what Christ was at, because Christ was actually teaching. You see what I'm saying? Wisdom sometimes comes with experience.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So Christ, and even in the midst of that, right? And when it comes to Christ, because that right there is separate from what we're talking about right here. You get what I'm saying? And so when Christ was teaching, you know what I'm saying? Christ was speaking in parables because what Christ was teaching, he didn't want everyone to get it. Right. Because everyone was not worthy of what Christ was dropping. You get what I'm saying? During that time.
Okay.
But because of Christ and what he did, now we all got action. Those who are serious about wanting to serve the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Not those who trying to challenge every goddamn thing and got an opinion about everything and think they know every goddamn thing. No, you're a dummy. You should just get out the way, you know what I'm saying? Just sit back, take notes, and listen. Right. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
If I could, so this can still go hand in hand with Yahushua's parables, just because off the rip that, okay. Oh, first question, I should start with this. This is you praying to the Lord for wisdom on how to even deal with X situation.
Yes, because it says, let him ask of God.
Right. Okay. So because of that, we can say, as what we can teach, that it goes hand in hand with Yahushua's parables, because if you're not willing to just ask of the Most High so that you can be shown through experience, and you're not willing to go through the experience, you're not even going to be willing to actually understand this parable in the first place. We can teach that. Or is that a good way to break that down? Like, do you understand what I mean?
I think so. Okay. Let me see. Let me make sure I understand what you're saying. Okay, run it down one more time. I want to make sure I understand you.
Okay, so if we don't have the wisdom, we should ask of the Most High for that wisdom.
Definitely.
And to my understanding, when you ask the Most High to receive some sort of wisdom, he's going to put you through an experience so that way you go through something. Okay. So either way, you're going to learn, whether you mess up or not. Now you know, oh, you know what? Now I know. Like me, for example, I know not to mess with white people, befriend white people because of the experience I had growing up with them, despite the fact even my family is white. But that in itself lets me know how to move along, even my own, my mother's side of the family, right? So if you're not willing to take on that wisdom, you're not even going to understand Yahushua's parables in the first place, because you won't even listen to the Most High when he answers your prayers.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Okay, so so how you want to look at it is, because you're not, because you don't know how the Most High is going to give it to you. You know what I mean? You might have to go through some things, or there might be a brother or sister that'll come along in your life, you know what I'm saying, that'll lay it down flat. But if you're not willing to show the patience necessary, and you just decide to just act on your own, if you're not, then you're definitely not ready for the parables that Christ was teaching.
So we can't teach that.
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of.
You see what I'm saying? Because the thing about it is, right, and you got to think about it, right? the parable that Christ taught, even the disciples didn't understand them right then and there.
So it's like, did you say that last
right
part?
There was certain thing that Christ taught that the disciples did not get right then and there.
Okay.
But later on, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it was like that light went off.
Like, is that why they, if I could, like, is that why, you know, like some of them I have written like an additional book, which would also be a precept to, you know, like the book of John, and then you go into 1 John, 2 John, Revelations, where he would basically reference some of those things that was even spoken about in John in the first place. To kind of, you know, like, you know, at this time I was just laying it down. I'm recording what happened, but then later, okay, now I'm talking about it, but in the sense of how I understood it.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but I wouldn't teach that though.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Because it doesn't say that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I wouldn't, if it's not there, I wouldn't teach it.
Okay, kind of.
You know what I mean? But if you want to apply that to yourself, as far as how you operate, you can definitely do that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But to do a class based on that, then I wouldn't do that. Come on.
Okay,
I have a question about that. So I know you said that he spoke in parables because he didn't want everybody to know what's going on. But my question is, so with like the priests before that he was teaching, were they still able to do like how now you do like scriptural breakdown where if they didn't get clarification, they're still able to ask, or was it different?
Okay, so you gotta understand. So the scriptures say many members in one body, right? So the brothers that might not have understood, you know what I'm saying, that particular breakdown doesn't mean that they're not able to perform their duties on Shamar or cooking up the lamb or whatever the case may be. You see what I'm saying? So the thing that they did not understand, you know what I'm saying, they wouldn't teach on that because they didn't have the full understanding.
The hand will never.
Once they gain the understanding, then they, you know what I'm saying, they would be able to teach on it later on. But that right then and there, if they did not have the understanding, then no, they definitely would not teach on something that they didn't fully understand.
What I meant though is, would they be able to ask? Not that them teach it, they don't know it. But what I mean is, because they didn't understand it, were they still being able to ask? Like how, for instance, like on this scripture breakdown, we ask you when we don't.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I understand your question now. Okay. So I didn't understand that first. Yes, they were. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. You know what I'm saying? Christ was the teacher. You see what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? If they weren't able to go to him, who could they go to? You see what I'm saying? So, yes, the disciples definitely asked questions.
I was just confused a little bit just because of the, you know, how him speaking in parables is because he didn't want everyone to know.
Right.
Not everyone is basically like people who are not Israelites. Is that how it works? Or just people who are not worthy here?
Yeah, I mean, look, both. The heathens for sure was not, you know what I'm saying? Was not meant to understand this, and then there's some hard-headed Negroes that are not meant to understand this either, because no matter how many breakdowns you laced them with, no matter how many precepts you laced them with, you know what I'm saying, they're still going to praise Caesar. Or today, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if y'all seen that camp speaking that Captain Mashak did, but that pastor was pissed. He was pissed. He loves Caesar. He would not understand what Christ was saying. There was no way in hell he could understand what Christ was saying, because if he did, instead of trying to go against the camp, he would have been asking how he could join the camp. You see what I'm saying? So they're just some brothers and sisters who, no matter how flat you lay it down, they're just not gonna get it. You see what I'm saying? But those that didn't understand, were they able to ask questions? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like they asked questions. Like Christ didn't just, you know what I'm saying, hey, I'm gonna drop this on you, and then that's that. You know what I mean? But it's just not recorded. You know what I'm saying? But again, like that's why that's how they were able to that's how they was able to move with Christ and go and get down with Christ, because you know what I'm saying, Christ knew that they were worthy, and like they were students as well. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, if I could real quick, let's look that up real quick. Disciple. Let's see. So the definition of disciple in the Oxford Language Dictionary is a follower or student of a teacher, leader, or philosopher. And what does a student do? Boom. See what I'm saying? Just like that, right? Come on with it.
So you know the picture you were talking about. He would have been one of those ones that when Yahushua was telling them to, the paraphrasing, to drink the blood and eat. Yeah, that man would have been one of those because no matter how many questions they asked, they didn't get it. Right. Because they left him.
Right. Yeah, he would have been. Yeah, he definitely would have left. He definitely would have left. I mean, and I just realized it's after 9. Man, messed this topic up again. Slagia, y'all. How many I got? Okay, I'll give them to y'all. Right, y'all can write them down now because we're not that far over. But I got too many to try to teach them all right now. So it was James chapter 1 verses 1 through 8. Right, and again, for those that might just not be tuning in, the topic for tonight's class is you can't serve the Lord and be double-minded. So these scriptures that we were getting ready to cover have to do with you know what I'm saying, having the spirit of a double-minded brother or sister, right? So it was James chapter 1 verses 1 through 8. From there, we were going to go to James chapter 4 verses 7 and 8. Revelations chapter 3 verses 15 through 18. 1 Kings chapter 18 verse 21. 2 Kings chapter 17 verse 33 and 41. Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 13. And Hosea chapter 10 and verse 2. All right, so again, for 2 Kings, it's chapter 17, verses 33 and 41, not 33 through 41. So that's why I emphasize and like that. So you're going to read 33, and you're going to drop down to 41 because those pertain to the breakdown. So when you hear a brother teaching the class and he reads down to a certain number and then he jumps down to another number, it's because those scriptures pertain to the breakdown. You see what I'm saying? So these are the scriptures that you want to use to teach or learn about the spirit of a double-minded brother or sister. And if there's any one of these scriptures that you brothers and sisters do not understand, you can bring them to class next week. You know what I'm saying? We can go ahead and bust them down because you know what I'm saying, that those are the scriptures that we were going to cover. But because I rambled all goddamn night, we didn't get a chance to get through all of them. So Salakia for that. We will come with a brand new topic, you know what I'm saying, next week, Lord allow. I know we ran over the time by a couple minutes, but like I said again, you know what I'm saying, we will you know what I'm saying, come with something new next week. If y'all have any questions on this particular topic or anything that we covered, you know what I'm saying, you can find us on Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas, find us on YouTube, ISUPK Nevada, and also as well on Arizona, ISUPK Arizona on YouTube as well. All right, with that, pass the class to Priest and Officer Rock.
So first things first, if I could, y'all just remember, keep in mind, coming up December 1st through the 4th, we have the West Coast Cookout. If that is something that you are interested in, make sure that y'all reach out to your respective camp leaders to get more information on how you can attend to the ISUPK Las Vegas West Coast Cookout. That's going to be from December 1st until the 4th. You understand, you know, where we're going to have classes, you know, we're going to have a class with, I believe, 12 Shield General Hyman. And then also, you know, following up with Friday, we're going to have camp. Saturday, we're going to have the actual barbecue. Sunday being a free day. And then, of course, amongst all of that, we're going to be having our ISUPK, you know, kickback parties and whatnot. So, you know, these are going to be things that you don't want to miss. And of course, more details and information will proceed. All right. So this is the ISUPK security announcements. We're the ISUPK started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for a new brother and sister: when a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. If there is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and also in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Maishara, which means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, which is different than the tithing. Free will offering for priests, it's not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. As far as holy convocations, like I said, we do have the West Coast Las Vegas cookout. If you would like more information on that, on how you can attend it, or even just simply contribute to it, reach out to your respective camp leaders. You understand? And if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. So with that, men of Israel, Hamashim, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Hamashim Shabbat, Hamashim Barak, Yahavashim Yahushua Barak. Which means hands down. Brothers, Sar, which means to turn, face the sisters. Sisters, Hamashim, stand. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Hamashim Shabbat, Hamashim Barak, Yahavashim Shamar, and the Thaba Hashem Yahushua. And with that, class is dismissed.